Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Okay, after last time, I've decided I think I'm going to start off with guard duty. To see what that's like. I know we never did, lookout duty, and I feel like that was a character choice at the time, but it was also partially because my perception was already maxed, and that focuses on getting your perception up. And I kind of want to go for that achievement where we get max out all 4 physical skills, which might be hard to get at this point. We're not even 50% with toughness, and most of our combat is artificial, but I don't know. Yes, Ricky Dicky, I gave you a little pet. But I still want to see if I can do it. And you know what? It might be interesting to try and get to know Vase a little bit. He is still the only character in this game I have 0 positive feelings about, besides Loom, I guess. The only, kid character, you know. So maybe we can try and turn that around. Try to get him to like us. Or at least be kind of nice. See what the big deal is. What Anemone sees in him, you know. You show up for orientation to guard duty. Vase and Nem are here as well, listening intently to Security Chief Rhett, as he teaches you the specifics of the colony's defenses. There's the walls, of course, and the lookout towers, and the robotic turrets. There are obvious weaknesses, like the gates, and less obvious ones, like the pipes that divert runoff water away from the colony. And there are high-priority targets like engineering and geoponics. You're surprised to learn that the living quarters are considered lower priority. Duh, Vase mutters. During an attack, everyone's supposed to be defending the colony, not hiding under their beds. It's a lot to learn quickly, and Rhett doesn't let you make mistakes. He drills you, first on your knowledge of the colony, and then on actual drills. Physical fitness and reflexes, loading and firing a plas rifle, securing a dangerous situation, and combat tactics both as a group and solo. If the lookouts on the walls see anything, you'll be the ones to shoot it, he says, as you struggle with reloading the cartridge in your plas rifle. There might not be time to wait for backup. You have to be able to make and act on the right choice without hesitation. He looks you right in the eye. You're not only a guard while you're on duty, he says, seriously. You are being charged with the defense of the colony itself. I expect you to be ready at all times to answer the call. Frustrated, you fumble the cartridge and it clatters to the ground. Rhett stomps it under his foot. No slacking. Keep your mind and body sharp and ready for anything. I think I'll probably be doing some slacking. Rhett leaves you to figure out how to reload your plas rifle on your own. Vase is already finished, of course, but Nem stops what she's doing to help you. There's a latch here, she says, flicking it with her thumb. If it's deployed, you can't click the cartridge in, got it? You nod. It's easy when someone actually shows you how. Rhett's such a bastard. Let's stay in character. Neither of them like that. Woo! Nem looks at you in shock, and Vase slams his hand on the table. The rifles clatter. He's trying to keep you sorry colonials alive, he snarls. He's probably the only reason you're still here. Have some respect. Vase storms off in disgust. Nem shoots you a sorry look and follows him, shouldering her rifle as she goes. Vase befriending, not going well so far. Alright. +1 to physical cards, +2 bonus to pairs. Okay. Probably don't want to use this one, because most of our cards are over this. We have a 6. Let's see. Yes, we get a +2 bonus to physical pairs, so we should focus on that first. Yes, that's very good. Yeah, that's really good, actually. Especially added to this. Now, what happens if we add this to it? No, it has to be, all physical for this to come into effect. This is still a better score, though, so... Not the best score. Alright, we got our combat up a little bit. That's good. Alright, now... Ooh, new perk. Bravery level 2, reduce exploration stress. Every event in exploring causes +10 stress instead of +15. Great. Because I was thinking that with the extra energy bandwidth I've gotten, I might want to go exploring. The extra stress bandwidth, I mean. Let's see. I want to give Nem something to try and earn back what what I just lost with her. But her birthday... Oh, it's an early death. Yes, so we want to do this right now. Actually, do I want to get her a cake? Let's get her a cake. Yes. Because I think that cake is good to get on their birthdays, and, you know, just you get more friendship in general when giving a gift on their birthdays. Nem looks around at all the new soldiers that arrived on the heliosphere. They look so cool, she mutters. Why didn't we act more like these guys in the first place? Oh, we can get another card from her. Thanks for remembering my birthday, she says. It's not the same without Calm here. Great. Yay, +4 friendship. And... Excuse me. Toughness 40? Yes. Nem suggests you practice some hand-to-hand combat, then kicks your butt in the absolute most literal sense. She leans over you while you're lying on the floor, completely gassed. You okay? She laughs. I didn't go too hard, right? Alright. Can we get something out of Vase for having high combat? No food, no weapons, no defenses. No wonder you were almost destroyed. I don't know what I expected, but I figured it would have been better than this. Yes, with combat 40, we can get Iron Stomach. Ooh, what is that picture? It's Tammy looking at something gross. I don't know what it is, though. Vase suggests a classic Helio test of grit, punching each other in the stomach until one of you gives up or passes out. It builds character, he says, taping up his muscles. His biceps glisten menacingly. Did any Helio ever think of putting a piece of metal under their shirt, though? Clang. Vase's punch reverberates through the courtyard, and he yowls and cradles his fist. He's surprised at first and angry at his pain, but when you pull the sheet of metal from your shirt, he bursts out laughing. I win by default, he snickers. Don't be such a coward, Solane. Take it like a soldier. Still, you didn't get punched in the stomach, so that's a win in your books. Nice. We'll get through to you, you asshole. Eventually. Alright. Exploring. Oop. There's a log. Alright, is there anywhere new? Just, Alright, I'm gonna wanna do one that gives me disfriendship. And this one gives me animals as well. Oh! Nami came with us too. Cool. Chief Severo Utopia stops you in Dis near the depot. Feel that? She asks. You can feel a kind of ominous distant thumping, pulsing regularly through the ground. If you stand still, you can feel it vibrate up into your bone body too, like a massive global pulse. Utopia says, checking a readout on her holopalm. I reckon it's naturally occurring, she concludes, but it's giving me the willies all the same. You two better check it out. Might just stick together and take readings on the way, in case it's dangerous. You and Dis look at each other, excited. You follow the thumping, now an audible noise growing louder, west, until you've roughly triangulated its location. You know you're getting close, but it sounds like it's coming from all around you, and your instruments aren't precise enough to help. Let's do a perception challenge. No, that sucks. Let's put a 2 of a kind there. Okay. We get 5 from the Tase gloves for this. And then we'd have to get 37. Oh. Maybe if we put this on the end here, yeah. Then we would have to get 35, which is still not great. Oh, yuck, okay. No, I don't want to do this. Hold on. If I increase the value of this... Okay, that kind of works. I feel like that's the best I'm gonna get. Okay. 6 and a 6 and a 5, 4, 3. And that's another 5 actually. Not quite. Ha. Yeah, I don't really think I'm getting much better than that, so... My only choice, I feel... There we go. Is to... I changed this to a 6 so that... to yellow, so that it would get a +1 from this and give a +1 to it. So, yeah, that works. You find a machine, an ancient broken down machine, like a small pyramid-shaped building made from some kind of dark stone or bone that looks like it almost grew that way. Except it isn't broken. It's just so very old and overgrown, it looks like a pile of rubble and more like a pile of rubble and roots than a building or engine or whatever it was. Still, a thumping noise comes from inside it. The vibrations are strong here, making your guts feel weird. So there was some sentient life here before. Interesting. You don't notice it at first, but there's a curious path on the ground moving away from the machine, a line half a meter wide where the dirt is a little more worn and bare. It heads off in a straight line to the west, or coming from the west. Could animals have made this path? Or the thumper itself? We need engineering to do this. You run your hand over its pitted, vibrating surface. How could something so unbelievably old still work? It's definitely not natural. You can even see something like writing carved deep into the not-white rock. Dis starts making ns noises under his breath to the beat of the thumper. It's a pretty sick beat. Eventually, you head back to share your findings with Utopia. Totally an alien civilization, Dis insists. Utopia scratches her head. I suppose, maybe, she says. You said it looks ancient, right? Perhaps there could have been another civ here long ago. We have found other signs, but nothing active like this. It seems to be pointing west, or receiving something. She snaps her fingers. There's some right ugly ridge lines out there that have kept us from checking that direction, but we got gliders and motivation. That's half the battle. She makes a note in her hollow palm. I'll open up the western Wresting Ridges for surveyors, she says, then grins. Whew, say that 3 times fast. I'm not gonna try, Utopia. Dis is right. It's definitely aliens. Dis nods solemnly. Alright. Nami, what are you doing out here with us? I'm so glad to see you. When you report for surveying duty, Nami is here. It's their first day as a surveyor. They smile widely when they see you, smiling exuberantly. Oh, you two know each other already? Utopia says, looking to you, then Nami. That'll make this easier. Solane, I'd like you to keep an eye on Nami while you're out there. Utopia continues. I'm gonna assign you to the same regions for the next little while. Just make sure they don't wander into a nest of snap ladders, okay? Hooray! I like Nami. I mean, I don't know if Solane would, but I don't think Solane would dislike them. Nami cheers and gives you a high five. We whipped their butt at, Laser Saber. So, we can vibe together. As Utopia explains to Nami and some other new Helio surveyors about the surveying tools, Nami starts to get bored and wanders a little ways from the group. You see it happening, but are powerless to stop them from tripping and nearly landing in a nest of hot-eye eggs. They're just about to crash into the delicate spun glass cocoon when Utopia materializes as if out of nowhere and scruffs them by the back of the collar. Nami, pay attention. Nami giggles, like they don't even realize the danger of being stampeded by the upset Hop-Eyes beginning to gather around. Utopia ushers them back to the group before things can get tramply. Nami asks a million questions about the eggs. Are they edible? Do they have hard shells or soft? What is the cocoon made out of? How long until they hatch? Utopia sighs. Just get out of here, you two, she says, before the cute little varmints turn ugly. Okay. We got Nami on our team now. We can play in the snow. Nah. Let's just shovel it out of the way. Oh, another log. What's here? It's a cloudy day. You hear the crash of thunder from somewhere nearby. Loud. Sounds like it's getting closer. Okay, this is the tall creature. Yeah. We already got the card from it, so it's fine. We can do some more events. A mass of dead bushes blocks your way. They have pointy spines the size of short swords, and they look very, very sharp. Blast your way through it. Good thing you brought a plas cutter with you. You cut a hole through the bushes and set a bunch of the surrounding forest on fire while you're at it. That'll teach those bushes to get in your way. Alright. We can take on a little more stress. I should go home soon, I know. But Vertumnalia should be next, and that should reduce our stress. So I think we can do one more. You stop to admire the light glinting off the water of a shallow circular lake. You've seen these colorful floating rocks before, but when you've brought Dis back to show them where they were, you couldn't find them again. Should we take one? You refuse to follow their pattern and pick up one of the stones instead. You feel an intense fear as you do, and the rock turns completely black in your hand. The fear seems to come from the rock itself in a way you can't explain. The others all turn black as well, the oily color rippling over their surfaces. Oh no. Your heart races and the stone drops instinctively out of your hand. You feel suddenly nauseous and turn to retch. Well, that was a bad idea. I just wanted to do something different. You feel suddenly nauseous and turn to retch. When you turn back, all the rocks are floating further out, not a few meters from the shore. Did they swim out there? They just seem to be floating, just regular rocks. Except regular rocks don't float on water. You feel like they're glaring at you. Your stomach still feels uneasy, so you leave them. Okay, I'll go home. I got some animals from that. Alright, the Vertumnalia Festival is a welcome day of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic year. There is some rivalry between the two factions, but the Helios and Stratos can come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. At least that's what the adults say. You can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to the ship of origin. Rex shoots you a wave, Nami makes a silly face. Face is surrounded by other young soldiers. With Dis standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. Alright, he's gonna make the same speech as before. I'll read a bit of it. Greetings, people of Vertumna. We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We have worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction, and should be proud of our work. Yeah, he's gonna be like, how are you gonna do it all and look this good? Alright. He's appointed the original department heads to his own council. Stay on your toes, Stratos. Alright, and he's gonna blow the bastard Xenos to little pieces. Yep. He's lionizing the military strength of the heliopause and casting digs at the failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set up the square for the afternoon festivities, some traditional and some new. Yeah. Who do these helio jerks think they are? Right, Mars exclaims. This loom guy is a tool. Did you hear what he said about us? How crass. Like, have some respect. Dis arrives, carrying a big tureen of stew. And now they're just taking over. And everybody is okay with this? The adults are bigger cowards than I thought. Mars look at Dis in shock that they agree on something for once. Right, the only one of these we can do is Xeno wrangling, but we're gonna do the same thing as ever and ditch it. You head off to the wall where you find Dis. Oh, it's you. What do you want? I came to find you. You try to say it suggestively, but you aren't sure he understands. Oh, Dis mumbles. He picks at a loose thread in the sleeve, worrying a hole near the cuff for his thumb. That's cool, I guess. By mutual silent agreement, you and Dis stake out places on the wall a comfortable distance apart. It's peaceful. This place sucks now, Dis says, after a few minutes of silence. I can't believe we got taken over by a bunch of stupid soldiers and everyone's down there, playing nice with them and pretending like they're gonna help us. He looks out toward the wilderness. What's out there is bigger than their guns, I know it. Alright, we relaxed a little bit. After the festivities, the mood in the colony is a lot lighter. You see people smiling easier and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratos socializing together. It feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. Sweet. Alright. Now that we've alleviated some stress, do we want to try out the new location for exploration? How about it? And also, how much bravery do we need for your next thing, Dis? 80. Yeah, if we keep doing guard duty, that'll probably help with that. Come on. I'm trying to click on it. I'm trying to click on exploration. There we go. Survey the ridge. Perception and engineering and friendship with Dis. Okay. You don't really need either of those traits, but I'm curious about this place. The only way to the Wresting Ridges is by glider. Part vehicle, part kite, and all adrenaline. You land on the rocky, broken-up spine of the nearest ridge, and nearly fall over when you look down at the plummeting slope into the basin below. You are a long way up. Dis and Utopia glide in beside you. Woo! Utopia exclaims. You handled that glider like a champ, Dis. You too, Solane. She peers down over the slope of the ridge. A lot more exciting than the swamps, right? I want you two to stick together out here. It's dangerous in those ancient Convergent Domain ruins. Convergent Domain? Ruins? You look around. The landscape is like nothing you've ever seen before. Dry, cracked soil gives way to steep cliffs. And what little vegetation here is brittle and sharp. You can feel the dry air wick away the moisture on your lips. What the heck is that crystal stuff down below? Stone structures in the distance. Glowing thingy on the ground. Cute little nose on your cute little face. I'm not flirting with Utopia. Strange device. You point it out. Utopia gives it a nudge with her foot. Beats me, she says. You unearth the object. It's pulsing with light and warm to the touch. Hold up, Utopia says. Don't just go picking things up, Solane. Could be radioactive, you know. Utopia waves her hollow palm crystal over it, then checks her interface. Only a little, she concludes. Whatever it is, it looks old. Like thousands of years old. We've been digging up glowing gadgets all over this region, but got no clue what they're for. You hang on to that one, maybe you'll figure it out. And what is that crystal stuff way down below? Oh, those? Utopia says, pointing to a crystal formation so densely packed into the ravine that it looks like a sparkling river. More outcroppings of crystals decorate the slopes. They're all over the place. Be careful with them. Not sure if they're animal, vegetable, or mineral. She points off into the distance. There's a big island of them over there, like a glacier. Covers the whole damn place. Might be related to the Convergent Domain, but we ain't sure yet. Okay. And the stone structures? Well, there are buildings here, Utopia says. Traces of them, anyway. Maybe 10, 20,000 years old? We sure didn't put them there. Dis lights up at the prospect of doing alien archaeology. We've checked them out, but not thoroughly. Mostly just trying to get a feel for who lived there, and why they ain't here no more. Based on some glyphs, He started calling them the Convergent Domain. Whoever they were, they built things to last, Utopia admires. It ain't just arrowheads and cave paintings. There's real architecture. Machines, even. Wait, what? I wish I had more to tell you, Utopia says. Most everything we found just poses new questions. The structures read more organic than anything, so does that mean their gene tech was super advanced? As for this place, we think it was some kind of solar network for them, she says, squinting up into the two suns. Looking at it from above, you can see these big vines traveling up and down the ridges like power lines, and there's hardly any plant life elsewise, like they soaked up all the energy and made it a desert. But what did they use the energy for? She says. And if there is a civilization so big and so advanced on Vertumna, why can't we find more traces of it? Where are the cities? What were them thumpers for? What happened to them all? She is right, that's a lot of questions. Maybe you can help find some answers. I don't know. I have 1 engineering right now. So anyway, those ruins are the main thing we need you to survey while you're out here, Utopia says. But keep an eye out for anything else weird. Utopia claps the dust off her hands. Well, my job here is done. You're all set, kid. Try not to fall off a cliff. Dis jumps back in his glider too. As usual, he's going to scout on ahead and catch up with you later. Alright. The Western Wresting Ridge. Ugh. Alright, I see a flower. Here's a first event. A precarious natural land bridge drops down sharply on both sides here. You kick a rock over the side but don't hear it hit the bottom. Do you cross? Very carefully. You shuffle across it slowly, examining the cracks and sticking to the solid places. You accidentally send a few more pebbles skittering over the edge and think, better them than me. Alright. There's a fork here. There's an event. Oh, another thumper. We can go past it, though. Ooh, another weird device. Can we give these to Dis? Is that the thing that he likes? You find your way blocked by a massive wall. No, a hollow pillar, knocked over and lying on its side in the sand. It's absolutely massive. It stretches to your left and right at least 1 kilometer in each direction, though at some points it's crumpled enough that you could likely scale over it. Let's check it out. We have some blue cards. 86. Oof. Okay. Alright, 3, 4, 5. Good start. 2, 4, 5, 6. That's good as well. No, that's 3. Right. This adds to that. That makes that a 6. Right. Alright, I don't think it really matters how we do this now. We get a red 2 of a kind. That's good. 37, okay. 3, 4, 5, okay. That doesn't really help me. Alright, we have a lot of mushwood logs. That could be enough. I don't know how that's gonna help. Okay, let's just add a bunch of mushwood logs. Put a mushwood log on everything. Ah, there we go. It's a complete flesh like that. We used an awful lot of logs for that. Oof. Dis looks giddy as you follow the pillar to its base. A large pyramid almost entirely lost under the sand. You brush away some of the sand and find that the pyramid is inscribed on all sides with pictures of, well, wormholes, you think. This pillar must have once stretched up to the sky. Maybe it was some kind of observatory or sacred building, or just a monument to the wormhole. Mysterious. Okay. I think if we go around, we can reach that event. And keep going this way, but I want to see what that is. Oh, there are a few over here. And some crystals. The path ahead is blocked by a field of snaking vines and brambles. They're flowering, enormous happy blossoms, swaying in the shimmering heat waves. You can push through them, but your holopalm beeps a warning, a radiation warning. These flowers seem to be highly radioactive. Far too radioactive for the mild shielding your suit provides. You might be able to pass through if you don't mind feeling the effects of radiation sickness until you can detox at a med bed. Well, if it doesn't kill you outright. Radiation is unpredictable. Okay, so I do remember that if we took this radioactive plant, we could study it in xenobotany, but only if we had the engineering required to, like, operate a radiation suit. And we don't have the engineering skill for that. So even though this is a pretty good card, I don't think I'm going to take it. Yeah. Oh, the event stays. So if we change our mind, we can come back to it. There is a strange heat haze shimmer across the path ahead. Oddly, it doesn't clear up as you get close. The mirage effect is very strong. The refracted air makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground and plants waving around it, but something is just off about the illusion. You can't put your finger on why. Let's investigate. Alright, we can do a 5, 6, 7. Oh, +2 if that's the highest value. Alright. I guess that's a pretty good start. All cards under 3 become 3. Okay. Okay. We're gonna want to put this here. Yeah, so we get 5 for this. Yeah, from the Tase gloves. Alright, now we're gonna need 30. Alright, we got a 4, 5, 6. And a 4 and a 5. Nice. Yeah, I bet it wasn't the best score, but I don't know, did pretty well. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach cautiously. As you do, you realize what is wrong about the mirage. It's impossible. The plants on the other side of the haze are different. Not just wibbly-wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger, older. And it's a different time of day, evening, not morning. Then you see him. It's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance, walking towards you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, but he isn't there. You can only see him through the heat haze like it's some kind of doorway. Or a mirror. Well, then we'll just watch, then. You just stare at the figure. That person who looks and moves exactly like you. Then you both slowly, carefully approach the mirage, and like mirror images, you both raise one arm. Your right and his left, and touch them together. Then the other you says something, but you can't hear. You can only see their lips move. Is it important? A message from the other you? You're desperate to know, but the mirage fades. Alright, we are quite stressed right now, but I think we can do a little more exploring. You're trudging along when suddenly you're buffeted by a hot wind. No, like a very hot wind. Lethally hot. The ridges are already baking, but all of a sudden it feels like you're trapped in a nuclear reactor. Your skin dries out and your lips begin to crack. Your eyeballs feel like sandpaper. Find the source. Engineering. You take careful readings from a distance, triangulate them, and discover the source of the wind. A red, sports ball-sized crystal emanator hidden in a small crevice. When you smash it, it doesn't shatter like crystal. It almost looks as if it could have been organic. Is it some kind of defensive barrier? Yet another weird mystery of these ridges. Alright. We can do one more. We can do one more. Come on. I know I should go home soon. You're scaling a huge rock plateau and you're suddenly overcome with an incredible feeling of peace. You've never felt anything like this. You literally feel lighter, like all of your troubles have been lifted away. The feeling is stronger when you touch the rocky surface and you realize it's radiating from the rock. And Dis is here. Dis is sunning himself on top of the rock, stripped down to his shirt. He looks up at you as your shadow falls over him. "Oh," he says slowly. "You found it too, huh?" He shades his eyes from the sun as he looks up at you. "You feel it, right? Like you just feel happy here? That's why I haven't told anyone about this place," he says. "That's how they get you, you know," he says. "Once they know you love something, they can use it to control you." I feel like we're high right now, so I'm gonna say, "That's deep." Dis shrugs. He doesn't seem to care if you're making fun of him or not. Must be the power of the rock. "You're gonna keep it a secret though, right?" Dis asks. "I don't want this place dug up and studied. It'll ruin it." He scowls. "People always ruin things, especially researchers. Some things you don't need to understand." "Okay, it's our secret." You do take a few readings though, just because all data is important. You mark down the location, but fudge the coordinates, so anyone they send out afterwards will get lost. You wonder if the rock is natural. Animals seem to really like it. As you're taking readings, you watch a swarm of dwarves moth basking on the rock as well, just like Dis. Then you lie down on the rock beside Dis, letting the strange magic fill you with an incredible sense of peace, love, and unity with the universe. Alright. We can do another event now. Yay. Every so often, you see absolutely massive creatures here, like giant snake dragons with thousands of legs and shimmering scales. They're so large that if one crosses your path, you're in for a wait. Which is exactly what you're doing. The gargantuan dragon has been slowly lumbering over this ridge for at least half an hour, its body disappearing into the heat haze of the chasms on both sides. Its feet slowly undulate across the cracked soil, making shushing noises and scattering boulders in its wake. How much bravery does this take? 30? How high the skill requirement is, I feel, is a pretty good indicator of what the result of doing something will be. Like, at this point in the game, if the requirement is 10 of a skill, you can pretty much bet that it's not going to be a good outcome, and it's just like baiting you into doing it. 30, I feel like it might be okay. The creature is moving more than slowly enough for you to climb up, using its large, soft spikes as handholds. It's going to take hours to get anywhere interesting, but from up on its back you can see further. Also, there are other creatures up here. You've climbed up right next to a cluster of dwarves moth, heads tucked under their wings like they're sleeping. In the other direction, there's even a bush bub. Or rather, it looks like a pile of rocks and some twigs. Should we wait and see where it's going, or... Let's see where it's going. Centimeter by centimeter, the Goliath makes its way into the chasm. You feel the air grow thicker and less hospitable until the sheer density of the heat and the drought make you feel genuinely concerned for your safety. You climb up the creature's back segment by segment until you're back on top of the ridge, then drop down on the other side. Ooh, scary. Alright, I think it's time to go back. We took on a little more stress than I anticipated in that event, so... yeah. On the bright side, well, not only have we found a new area to explore, but I think we finally found the item. Yes, this. The strange device. I think this is the item that Dis is gonna like. Should I try and give it to him? Let's go home. Yes, go home. Alright, so we're gonna want to relax, probably on the walls. But I want to see if this reacts to me giving him one of these devices. I don't know where we would go to study them. Dis's eyes light up when he sees your gift. Whoa, he says, taking them from you with uncharacteristic delight. Where did you find this? It looks like some kind of alien artifact. It's gotta be. Alright, he likes strange devices. Nice. I do need a break soon. That's what I'm gonna do. On the walls. The only spot of excitement this month was when you filled in for Nem when she needed to use the bathroom, and just by chance you happened to notice a small pack of Popeyes starting to chew through some cables. Nem was a little peeved you got the accolades for spotting them, but it's not like she can complain. You weren't even supposed to be on lookout duty. Alright, let's get rid of Sports Ball. Yes. That card is more of a nuisance to me than a help. Alright. Should I keep going with this episode? I feel like if I go all the way to the end of the year, it's going to be really long. But I can do one more thing. Let's try guard duty again. There's part of the new garrison you're not supposed to visit. Deep underground, where the colony keeps dangerous animals that have been captured by hunting parties and brought back to be studied. These aren't the cheerful fields where newly domesticated bristle slugs and float cows live out their days in peace and luxury. It's a grim place filled with wild, furious creatures pacing in circles, lashing at the reinforced glass, shooting acid from their wherevers. You know this because Security Chief Rhett has brought you here today, past many secure doors, so he can show you what you're up against. You should assume everything outside the colony walls is trying to kill you, he says gravely. Even if it doesn't look like it wants to sting you or bite you, that doesn't mean it can't spray acid, release poisonous spores, liquefy your insides with a sonic blast, or release a deadly neurotoxin. He points at you. If you don't know what it is, expect it's deadly. If you do know what it is, you should know how to kill it before it kills you. He teaches you about various xenofauna, their habitat, behavior, natural defenses, and weaknesses. Like always, he throws a lot of info at you and just expects you to be able to remember it flawlessly right away. Yes, there will be a test, he says when you ask. It'll be when you meet these monsters in the wild, and if you fail that test, you're dead. In fact, Rhett says, studying you ominously, you should be tested. Pop quiz, Solane. Which animal has venom snacks and can camouflage itself so well you're likely to step on it? Don't worry, you won't die if you get this wrong today. Snap bladder sounds right? Correct, Rhett says with a smile. Ay, sweet. They're like leg hold traps. They catch their prey by waiting for it to walk right on top of them. Then they snap shut and hold their prey until it gives in. Adult snap bladders can move slowly, but it makes them ornery, especially when they're heavy with eggs. The young are too small to hunt like this, but they have venom sacs. Not too dangerous to humans unless you fall into a whole nest of them. He raises an eyebrow. I don't suggest you do that. Alright. Pretty good cards. Actually, we're not going to want to put this next to... Yeah, because that'll make it -4. Okay. Yeah. I would make this, oh, this is a straight up free, nice. I would make this a 2 of a kind, if not for the fact that this counts as a social card, and this would get rid of 2. Hey, nice. We got quite a bit of combat for that. And some bravery, nice. Alright, what else? Anyone want to talk to me? Any collectibles? I feel like this is the part of the playthrough where I start saying that an awful lot. Dis hangs out over here sometimes. Ah, Dis and Nami. Okay. Do I want to keep exploring a bit? You know, Maybe I'll go to the end of wet. Maybe I'll go to the end of wet and then leave glow for the next episode. Let's keep surveying the ridge. See what else there is to find out here. I see a flower. Well, part of me almost feels like it's not really a flower. Alright, that over there. Is there a direction to go over here? I thought I saw one for like a second. No. No, it's just the radioactive plant that I don't want to take. I mean, I can take it for the sake of like having the really good card. I guess. I could do with an 8 in my deck. You know what? I'll take it. Let's take a sample. Alright, now let's turn around. Oh, we can still push through. But, no. I do not want to do that. And given that there's not another option, I think I'll just leave that event unresolved. Okay. Now, where can we find that flower? Oh, there's a crystal cluster over here. You're walking along a ridgeline when your foot knocks some rocks down a slope. You anticipate the familiar clatter as they plunge down into the chasm, but realize it's silent. Just the wind. You peer down the slope. Nothing's falling. Wait. The rocks you dislodged with your foot are just floating. You take a step forward and realize you feel lighter too. Like you've taken off your mountaineering gear. You take another step forward. It's a struggle to keep your foot on the ground. With one more step forward, you realize it's possible to take both feet off the ground. You're floating. You nudge your foot and let the momentum float you forward a few feet, feeling more untethered by gravity the farther forward you go. The ridgeline is narrow, with a steep drop on either side. There's no way around the strange anti-gravity field, and if you fall out of it, you might plummet into the chasm. Let's try it. +2 bonus to pairs. Alright. Aha, 3 of a kind. That's a good start. Alright. Okay. No. We want this. Okay. Now it would be good to have the gem strengthen card, but this is the only round we didn't get it. Oh well. Okay. Let's see. Let's redraw our hand. Oh, that's worse. Okay. Yeah, that's worse. I'm gonna redraw my hand again. Okay. It's better. It's not terrible. Okay. Oh! Ooh, just one. Just barely won, and it wasn't even the best possible score. Sweet! You float forward, allowing yourself to rise higher and higher until you're able to swim and tumble through the air with ease. Woo! Wow, you're totally weightless. You float over a shiny, lumpy rock, jutting up from the spine of the ridge. As you pass over it, you feel gravity gently begin to embrace you again, pulling you back down. Your feet touch the ground again on the other side, and your legs immediately give out. What a rush! You mark the location on your map for other surveyors. It looks like I'm in the same spot as before, but okay. What's over in this direction? There's the flower. And another flower. And another flower. Awful lot of flowers over here. Let's see what this supposedly flower-centric event is. You investigate a weird squeaking noise, eventually following it to its source. An undulating swarm of sleek creatures gathered on the cliff above you. You watch as they throw your tiny bodies off the edge, plummeting past you and out of sight. They scream and screech in excitement. Okay, weird. Raining bounce weasels. Film it from a distance. In your best wildlife documentary voice, you note that the creatures are probably killing themselves off so the rest of their tribe have a better chance of survival. Or maybe they're migrating and made a mistake and now they're all plunging to their certain deaths. Such a tragedy. You are totally just making this up, but it sounds good. At any rate, you get a great recording of the hideous screeches the animals give as they leap off the cliff. Like miniature battle cries, they send shivers up your spine. You're happy to record it from way, way back here. Alright. Gave us a little bit of stress, but that's okay. We can take it. I feel like we might get through this whole area. You come across a particularly flat area. A large field is obsidian. Well, obsidian is the only word you have for it, but you've never seen obsidian this bright. It's like a rainbow strapped underneath its glossy black surface. Like the entire ground here is polished black opal. The field glints under the sun at certain angles, momentarily blinding you. It looks slippery and shiny. Let's just walk around the edges. That gives us engineering. You find a patch that is a little different and take some readings. You confirm the material is not natural. It must have been created by the convergent domain, because it's the same stuff they made the thumpers out of. Silica, mixed with some trace organic elements. But looking at striations in the cliffs nearby, you determine that this entire region used to be covered in a thick sheet of this dark glass rock. In most places there is now a layer of soil over it, but if you dig far down enough, you'll probably find this layer everywhere. Like the whole place has been glassed. No wonder there are so few plants here. The convergent domain must have paved this area to discourage plant life from growing. All except for the crystals, which seem to sprout happily from the obsidian pavement. Alright, we're taking on some stress, but it's okay. It's okay. We can keep going. Oh, more flowers. There's the outpost. What's over here? Beautiful plateaus. Oh, another device. 4 discs. Another flower. I know this is going to be a long episode. I'm just having so much fun, and there hasn't really been a place to end it. A beautiful little locust lands in your arm. It calmly washes its face with its forearms and vibrates its wings, like it's cooling off. The poor little guy is all alone. Let's befriend it. +1 to physical cards. Sweet. Okay. +2 to cards with gems. We have several of those. Alright, so we have 2, 3, 5, 6. 2, 3, 6, 6. This is actually better. Okay. And... okay, 2 of a kind there. 3 of a kind. How about we do it like this? That doesn't change anything. And a 4, 4, 4. Okay. That's worse. Okay. How about we just do a couple +2s? So this all becomes a 5 of a kind. Sweet. You look it up on your holopalm. It's a mask wing, named because when it's frightened, it opens its wings all the way and flips them forward, making it look like a grimacing manticore. Scary. But even scarier is how much they can eat. They usually eat leafy plant matter, and they're not above eating fabric, wood, hair, or even skin. They swarm in dust and in hot places like the ridges. You see something out of the corner of your eye and look up from your new friend. Oh, huh. In the distance, you see a haze above the ground. It's the locust. Each one bigger than your fist, these insectoids can eat their weight in under an hour. There are millions of them out there, and they'll be here soon. Your buddy takes off to join its friends, and you gotta go. You make it to your glider in time, thankfully. You come back to this place later in the week. What foliage there had been is now stripped bare. The only thing still standing are the crystals, glinting in the sunlight. Okay. Alright, this is all one big circle, I guess? Or no, this is... Oh, hi, Dis. What's up? Dis is an entirely different person when he's outside the colony walls. Without people constantly trying to correct his asocial behavior, it's like he's blossomed into someone who's actually confident. The more time you spend with him out here, the more glimpses you catch of the real Dis. Bet you can't do this, he says, jumping off a huge boulder and doing a cool roll at the end. Wait, no. Bet you can't do it with your eyes closed. I can. You and Dis cavort around, daring each other to do more and more dangerous things. Dis isn't scared of anything. You think you see something up on one of the plateaus above you. The cliffside is covered in convenient vines. This seems like a good time. Dare him to kiss you on the lips. Dis goes pale. What? No, that's not the same, he exclaims. You're cheating. Wow, you might have found the one thing Dis is scared of. He insists you pick a real dare. Climb up there. Dis scrambles up the cliff, no problem. He turns around at the top. Now your turn. Well, you dared him, so you gotta follow through. The vines are slippery and dangerous, and some of them are even alive and wriggle when you grab them. You lose your grip right at the top, and you slip and start to fall. But Dis grabs you. Got you, Dis exclaims, pulling you over the ledge. Your heart is thumping, and you're all sweaty from fear. But you did it. Dis looks so calm and collected, even though he just climbed the same treacherous wall and had to save you from a long fall. Why doesn't he ever seem scared? The plateau is empty, but it provides a great view to look out over the Wresting Ridges. You and Dis take a break and watch the shadows creep across the dusty, craggy landscape. This is the life, Dis says. No school, no gossip, no bullies, no one telling me what to do or what to think. He props his elbow up on his knees and and squints into the sun. Even with my augmentation, it's the colony I always feel like such a coward. But maybe the problem isn't me, it's everyone else, you know? I'm not scared of any of the usual stuff. Monsters getting hurt, even dying, like, who cares, he continues. But humans keep finding ways to control people with fear. Well, they can't control me. How about that kiss? Dis laughs, embarrassed, and starts scrambling down the side of the cliff again. You'll have to catch me first. Alright. I feel like that's a good spot to head on back to camp and, you know, if I can find my way back, that is. Oh boy. Because I would love to keep going, and we still can keep going, but that was an awful long episode, and I feel kind of bad about that. So, let's see. I think I saw the camp over in this direction. No, it's up there. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back this way next week. No, I mean next episode, at the start of the next episode. Next month. But yeah, I really like Dis. And again, I feel... I could tell from the beginning that he was the kind of character I would like. But I wanted to do something that was a little out of character for me and be like this mean bully character. And yeah, I definitely feel bad for how I treated him in that first playthrough. Especially since I didn't, like, go all in with the Mars friendship. So it kind of felt like a waste. But, you know, I'm always a sucker for sad boys, you know. That's definitely my kind of character. And, like, I looked it up. I looked up what dysthymia means. And, like, specifically, it's a kind of depression, like, a very specific clinical definition of depression that sounds a lot like what I experience, you know? Like, this constant mild depression. Like, it's never the worst it's ever felt, and occasionally there will be like major episodes of it, but mostly it's just constant, very mild depression that goes on for years at a time, months even. And that's just a I feel like that's probably representative of what Dis himself goes through. It's a very evident name, an appropriate name for him. And it's just, sad boy who's literally named depression. I apologize for using Tumblr slang, but Dis could not be more Blorbo shaped for me, So I'm happy that in this playthrough I'm going all in with his friendship, and hopefully his romance too, because I would like to be able to romance a character in a playthrough on the channel, damn it. That's one of the things that interests me about this game, and failing to do that is frustrating. So, alright, enough of me yammering on. I'm going to take a break here. I don't know what I'll do next time. Maybe I'll go out into the Wresting Ridges again, or whatever they're called. But I'll figure that out next time. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.